So, you want to learn English? Good for you. How would you go about doing it? Buying books worth thousands of dollars? Joining a course? No, that's the Western way. Those people have means to live good lives. Here in the Balkans, you are born broke. Being broke is a grind set, a hustle, a mindset. As a result, you go for the self-made route and open up YouTube and scroll through hundreds of videos, all boiling down to flashcards, Pomodoro technique, and videos promising you stuff like, hey yo, my name is Daquan Wiltshire. I'm gonna teach your sexy ass how to speak English. You wanna learn pronouns? My wee wee slash your booty. There is an easier way, a less creepy way to learn English. Without further ado, let's go. Number 1, fail. It is the only way to learn any language. You can't make muscles by reading about it. You can't learn a martial art without getting your butt kicked. And you can only understand the value of love by getting your heart broken. To a person? Okay. You must aim to wake up and learn the language, knowing damn well you're gonna fail. Keep failing. Tomorrow for breakfast is failure. When you try to pronounce words, you will fail. When you tell your friend, Metro Boomin, make it boom, and he dies, so be it. If you do not make tons of mistakes, then you really will not make any kind of progress whatsoever. Fail until it becomes the norm for you, and eventually you will succeed. Which leads me to number 2. Stop focusing so much on grammar. Listen, I know you're gonna need good grammar to speak the language, but unless you get your message across, nobody cares if you make mistakes, okay? If you're so concerned about English grammar, I recommend researching the language's grammar through forums like Reddit or High Native. Instead of going through the pain of understanding the rules, someone else who went through the exact same pain that you did can help you realize how to grammatically speak the language correctly. And with the rise of AI, instead of scrolling through millions of books and forums, you can have AI explain to you a grammatical concept as if you were 5 years old. It's that easy. Leading up to number 3, learn English for usage, not in its entirety. Everyone focuses on how to speak correctly with the right accent, with the right tenses, but nobody focuses on getting their message across. As a person born in a country that doesn't use English as the main language, who has met people who've spoken English, let me tell you, they don't care. Legit, they don't care that you speak incorrectly. Just get your message across. If you're too focused on using have and having correctly, then don't. Language is contextual and situational. This means 95% of the time, when you get your message across despite using incorrect grammar, the person you are speaking to, assuming they are not a lobotomite, will already understand what you're trying to say. Like, I'm learning Spanish, right? And recently, I want to say, tengo un grande culo. I am not focusing on whether if I should use tener or haber. And if I make way too many mistakes, someone I talk to is bound to help me, right? And realize my errors, and I will go about my day, correctly speaking this time. Who do you think stutters the least and speaks English with utmost confidence, even if he or she may not have any hold on the English language? Indians, bruh. Why do you think the most successful engineers and tech experts are Indian? Because even when they mix Hindi and English, they still 99.9% of the time help engineering students in college by explaining a concept better than their own professors. They don't speak English completely. They mix it with Hindi. They speak broken English. But when they get their message across and help engineering students, my homies, basically, get their degrees, then yeah.
Who cares?
And I know what you're thinking. So let's say I now learn to communicate and I'm not shy to communicate. And let's say, I don't focus too much on grammar. I speak and I'm not afraid to make mistakes. Well, how do I learn more words? That's simple. Tip number 3, movies for vocabulary. A good movie can help you not only expand your vocabulary, but it can help you fix your grammar and even help you see the cultural aspect of countries who speak English as their main language. In the past, I had trouble not knowing how to use the adverb then and needed a concrete example of how then could be used. I rummaged through my high school English language notebooks, which didn't work at all and didn't let me learn how then is used. Then I rummaged through Netflix and found a movie called Scarface because I was bored. I just wanted to watch a movie. And in that movie, one of the most famous lines is,
This country, you gotta make the money first.
then when you get the money, then you get the power. Then when you get the power,
Then you get the woman.
this scene was not only one of the most memorable scenes from the movie, but it also provided me with an idea of how then is used. Because let's face it, we barely remember anything from a notebook. We barely remember sentences. We barely remember anything. Okay, I'm gonna stop. But we do remember 2 concrete things: imagery in usage. You cannot know how then is used if you've never seen a concrete example of it being used in real life or in modern media. And what better way to see a word, adverb, determiner, and perhaps an adjective being used than watching movies? Side advice, don't only watch movies with clear spoken English all the time. Say for instance you plan on learning English so you can travel to or live in America. After a while you need to stop watching movies where English is spoken in a perfect tone with a perfectly clear accent. You gotta watch movies like No Country for Old Men where the antagonist speaks in a Texan accent. You gotta watch Goodfellas or The Sopranos where the characters speak in an Italian American accent. English speaking countries often have people with different dialects and accents. So obviously if you always watch media, then you're never going to be outside your comfort zone and you won't understand how people with different dialects speak and how they get their communication across. Number 4, take it easy. Nobody has the same learning speed. Nobody has the same levels of patience, and everyone learns in a way unique to their own. Learn English the way you see fit, and do not push yourself to acquire the language. I learned Spanish exclusively because I love the language and have no ulterior motives whatsoever. Like none. Like absolutely zero. No, none. I learned Spanish because I love the language. They have an amazingly unique culture. So yeah, it's like, please help me. I am too down bad.